Yo, what is going on with GameStop? It has been falling out of the sky today. And obviously, if you guys weren't following along, the earnings were released the other day, and I'll take a look at that just in a second. But right now, look at this. Price is just not looking too good. Look at this massive sell off. We can see that the 50 MA is basically completely under the 50 MA right now. It's trending downwards, and we do have some support around this area, so we could potentially bounce off of this and see it consolidate sideways. But looking at the RSI right now, it's potentially indicating that it could be quite oversold. And just remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Be sure to do your own research before making any investments. But look at this dip right here. Like, this is ridiculous right now. And I'll just measure it. Let's see, 23rd, and let's go right here. Let's just start off like this top right there. Look at that. Look at this dip right here, about 27+% decrease in the current price points. And obviously the earnings, they weren't expected to be insane because obviously we know we had quarantine and all that stuff, but still we can see a lot of people are starting to spread news saying like, oh, GameStop, it's a sell target now, you guys should sell off and all that. But I'll share with you guys some of those articles in a second. But at least right now, the 1 hour chart, we're still hovering around this 145. So let's actually get a little closer. And we do have like one little green candlestick here. And then obviously if we were to go even closer, we can see like what it currently looks like. So right now, I'd say it's not the best looking chart right now. It doesn't look too pretty for GameStop. Obviously, we'll have to give it a few days. But there is some major news from yesterday that GameStop themselves, you can actually, I'll show you in a Reddit post, that is that a short squeeze may potentially happen, all right? So again, that's speculating, but I'll share with you guys the details in a second. But let's just take a look. Let's just look quick background, all right? So here, the GameStop swings pretty much lower after the earnings. So here's a quick, I'll give a little overview what this article states. They stated here, so this is for adjusted for the one-time items. They earned 90.7 mil or 1.34 a share compared to 1.27 a share a year ago. The sales fell to 2.12 bill versus the 2.19 bill in the fiscal of 2019. So here the sales have fell, but obviously, I'm not expecting GameStop's sales to be crazy high during the pandemic, but still 2+ bill. And then here it just says like same store sales rose 6.5% in the quarter, with the online sales rising 175% for the quarter and 191% for fiscal 2020. And then basically that's just like a quick overview on like the earnings and whatnot. But this is funny because now they have this negative article, right? So obviously when you see articles about this stuff, it's usually used for marketing, just to get you guys to click and all that. But pretty much you say that this Whitbush apparently says the price has disconnected from the fundamentals and it's now a sell. And obviously if you just look at this without reading anything, you'd be like, oh no, it's over. Even look at the chart, right? But if you compare GameStop and talk about fundamentals, like, come on. Explain this fundamentals right here. This is no logic behind it. This is straight up. They bought in potential shorts, and then pretty much it goes absolutely insane. Did it again here. This was even before the earnings. Price literally went from, you can see this price point, like, let's just look at this percent gain, right? That's like ridiculous, right? 600+%. And now the current valuation, basing off of GameStop sales, like it's the logic behind the fundamental stuff, I'd say doesn't really make sense. Now, obviously fundamentals, valuation, sales and all that makes sense for other companies, but it seems like GameStop obviously is a unique position where somebody saw that there's a completely different take on it, obviously regarding the shorts, which I'll show you that in just a second. But it's pretty exciting to see this post. But here you can just see this talks about like how they think it's a sell. And there's some interesting stuff here though. Like for instance, their price targets are super low back in the day. But you can see here that they stated that they think that GameStop will be the primary beneficiary of the new gaming console launches, which is basically going to put the company on track to return to a full year profitability in 2021. So we'll just leave it on this comment. Check this article out right here. So this one's pretty dope. And this is a little different website. This looks like it's, it's a random blog site. But basically, GameStop plans to expand into PC gaming, monitor, and gaming TV sales. So this stated on the Q4 2020 earnings conference call that they're basically going to expand this market, right? So I'm surprised they weren't already tapped into this, but looking at the the pivot, right? Obviously Ryan Cohen, Chewy founder, he's part of it now, the team, and working on things. So this is pretty dope that they're gonna plan to move into markets of PC gaming, monitors, and gaming TVs. And if you guys have been following the trend, seeing how just gaming evolved over the years, right? Like everyone now, if you see on YouTube, they're gaming influencers. They got the the decked out computers, the super nice monitors, everything that they're buying. That's probably going to be the new trend where people are buying, building on their computers, and then if GameStop were to fulfill that demand, then guess what? That's going to be a big deal too. So that's something interesting to see, and then you can check out some more details regarding on this. But other things too, obviously, is the graphic cards like the NVIDIA's RTX 30 series. I mean, just think about it. Games are evolving now. Graphics are evolving. You can't just play some of these games on your basic laptop anymore, or at least the experience won't be the same. So now everyone's trying to upgrade their systems, and plus the market for this is expanding rapidly. More people are staying at home, spending time inside. So if they are playing video games, maybe using social media, even your computer, right? Like you may be watching this on a computer, you have another monitor or whatnot. People like to upgrade their stuff. So I could see this being a big market in the future that they could easily capitalize on and expand their product sales. But that's something cool I just want to share with you guys here. And this was a recent article as well. And the last thing I want to share with you guys. So this is a little highlight. You can check this on Reddit too. I got this image from there, but just check this out. Let's read this first. A short squeeze due to a sudden increase in demand for shares of our Class A common stock that largely exceeds supply has led to and may continue to lead to extreme price volatility in shares of our Class A common stock. So first off, let's just look at the risk. Extreme price volatility, meaning the price will go up and down like crazy potentially. Meaning if you think like, okay, I'm going to go buy in whatever price. Let's say, for instance, here. You get in, for instance, let's say, and it just drops like crazy back down. You lose a huge chunk, and then all of a sudden people buy back in. And it basically did here. You buy it high, sell off, buy this massive high, sell, buy, sell, boom. And basically you see how crazy it is, right? So that's why they're essentially just like letting you know, like, hey, just be aware that this is risky. And if you are watching this every day, panicking, guess what? You might lose a lot of money. But here, this person highlighted this. To the extent aggregated short exposure exceeds the number of shares of our Class A common stock available for purchase on the open market, investors with short exposure may have to pay a premium to repurchase shares of our Class A common stock for delivery to lenders of our Class A common stock. Those repurchases may in turn dramatically increase the price of shares of our Class A common stock until additional shares of our Class A common stock are available for trading or borrowing. This is often referred to as a short squeeze. So they're literally hinting at a potential short squeeze. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I mean, this is giving you an explanation of what's going on and that what could potentially happen. Now, in terms of like the price and what people predict, that's a completely different story. Because I mean, if you've ever seen some videos, they say like ridiculously high price points, right? So I mean, I'm not gonna say any right now in this video because again, we don't know what's gonna happen. If it were to actually short squeeze and go crazy, then technically it's dependent on whoever is deciding to sell at whatever price they choose, and then someone actually has to get in. But that's just a little quick. I want to share with you guys this little thing right here because this is something that's really cool to see regarding all the speculation, people talking about it, but then you see it in the actual documents that they have that paragraph set in there. But in terms of short term right now, I mean, if you just look at the current market, a lot of stocks are taking some hits depending on which ones you're looking at, and some are pretty steady too. GameStop, obviously, they had the major earnings, so we see it right here. But I would like to see it consolidate sideways for a bit, just so we can get a better confirmation on like what's happening. Because if it were to continue to just keep falling out, I mean, someone's gonna end up buying it eventually. We could see it bounce back up, but again, we don't know yet. We do have some support within these areas here, but after that, I mean, it's just like it could free fall again. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, it were to bounce back, drop past, and break out of the 50 EMA and trend back upwards. But you see, GameStop isn't really like following that suit. It kind of is super volatile and it'll spike up super quickly, sell off, and then spike up again. So again, we'll just have to wait and see. But definitely do let me know your price predictions of GameStop in the comments below. But aside from that, if you made it this far in the video and you want to get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850, then be sure to click the first link in the description below. Sign up for an account, and as long as you deposit $100 minimum or more, you'll be able to receive 2 free stocks valued up to potentially $1,850. And aside from that, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.